Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to an SP Patrons review that I'm doing for Gill as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track by an act named DaiQing Tana and HAYA Band titled Silent Sky. We're going to be listening through this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. I love the guitar tone instantly, along with the natural harmonics on the right side and the steel string on the left. Oh, well, she's phenomenal. Immediately, dude. This is the epitome of people telling me that this language is quite poetic. Yeah, this is poetry in motion. It's beautiful. She has a phenomenal vocal timbre and texture. Her vocal range alongside the legato runs, the vulnerability in the performance is absolutely exquisite. And it suits the guitar really well on the sides. The performance of her, the way that she, that kind of descending legato note she does there, kind of reminds me of an erhu a little bit. No, pulled like violin strings. Pulled like violin strings. There's an instrument that goes wow. And the shaker is just fantastic. Use of groove there. Really simple guitar theme, but her voice is so enamoring, and I'm enamored. Like I love how she sounds. It's fantastic. Some jazzy chords there on the guitars. There's some interesting melodies and chord shapes. Bum 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 bum. Is that a triad or is that like a? I'm trying to figure out what kind of chord that is. I really should just have my ukulele here whenever I do performances, dude, so I can just play it. Phenomenal dynamic range to the performance as well. Interesting choice to have the guitar on the right come up there. Great use of panning and finding those little niches in the stereo field to add more. Are they panning the shaker along a bidirectional mic? Is that a cajon they're using now? Dude, what do they not have in this? They could be just like other types of drums, to be fair. Is that like a bongo or something like that, you know what I mean? And just the fact that she just sings like this, just like an instrument in the mix, so flawlessly, is exquisite. And rolling back to the palm mutes, the natural harmonics as well as the fingerstyle. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Gill. Thank you for this wonderful choice that I've never heard of, DaiQing Tana or the HAYA Band, but it's great. You can even hear the sound of the person's vibrato on the fretboard. That's sensational, dude. So this is the conclusion of my SP Patrons review of DaiQing Tana and HAYA Band with Silent Sky. I'm going to assume this is probably about someone singing about the nighttime and the peace at night and watching the stars and everything like that, just by the title, as I didn't understand the lyrics natively, but that's okay. I think that it was wonderful to hear DaiQing Tana, if I'm not mispronouncing that, sing that beautifully about it. It sounds like someone who is, you know, looking at the stars and kind of telling you their story, and just her pitch that she has there alongside the damn near flawless hidden chest voice there, the wonderful use of legato there, soft sounds, phenomenally expressive. It just suits the peacefulness of the environment that she's trying to describe, I assume, so neatly. There were some interesting melodic ideas that she was doing as well that I've heard from music from this part of the world. Da 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 da, or something like that. There's like a melody here where we work within major or minor scales shapes, but there's like almost an innocence to it. There's like a beautiful dance there. We don't necessarily commit to the triad of it. We maybe harmonize on a sixth or a seventh extension within what the guitar is doing in the parts where she was sort of telling the story. And I love it because it's so nice to have someone kind of flirt with stuff outside of the traditional major and minor shellscapes. I think it's fantastic. You legitimately have someone here who is looking at what is to come and going, hey, I know I could just kind of play it safe, but I want to sort of do something a little more original. I think that's fantastic. The 6 minutes that this track lasted felt like 6 seconds. It is extremely rare for me to come across a track where time flies that quickly, but that was the case within this track, Silent Sky. We started with those guitars there, just the two of them. Just one on the left doing the fingerstyle or the broken chords, and the other doing the natural harmonics. And then we just have DaiQing Tana come into the middle and just stamp her presence on it without even necessarily being particularly forceful about it. She was the opposite. She kind of sultrily kind of sauntered in and just smashed it out of the park, and it's wonderful. Easily one of the most beautiful singers, one of the most beautiful singers I've ever heard in my entire life. Her voice is absolutely astounding. And I honestly feel as if this is the kind of musician that we need more of in this day and age, with so many people trying to be hard or catchy or whatever the hell. It's so refreshing to have a musician like this come and tell the story like that, and I would love to hear more music like that. But the theme behind it, simply with the guitars, the shakes, the cajons or percussive instruments, the bongos, the lead parts that happened occasionally on that right side with the secondary guitarist, it was just so, you could tell where everyone was in the mix. You could hear that they were all in the same room recording. You had some really sort of nice, competent, arpeggiated melodies there on those guitars there that kind of cascaded downwards nice and gently there. There was a sense of peacefulness and love and care and tenderness from the musical theme itself there. There were never any harsh sounds or intervals there. If there were some extended harmonies or dominant seventh chords, they were used in a way where they kind of extradited the feistiness from them, as that wouldn't have suited the mood that the song was going for. I think that a lot of the elements used, like the shakers and the cajon and all that, especially if they came a bit later on, were fairly minimalist. I don't think they wanted to be too over the top or extreme. I am happy nonetheless with the fact that they've managed to make that chemistry there between the members, that they managed to absolutely nail that take. And there was such gentle gradual development over this almost balladesque format that I honestly never felt bored. I never looked at the time. I was just lost and entranced in it. I was in another world, and that's what great music does. It not only takes you away from thinking, oh, is this good, whatever, because you believe it, you know that instantly, but it also, you lose track of time. You go into a state of flow. And in Silent Sky, especially with just staring at the stars, that's what you want. That's what you want. So absolutely smash the aesthetic there in all regards to this one. The recording itself was phenomenal because not only were the voices recorded, because this is the recording, mixing, mastering, of course, the production side, the voice was recorded, filtered, and EQ'd spectacularly. I think that the guitars, there was a nice amount of dynamic range on those, but they had a nice sort of reverb tail to them, which matched well with the mistiness of her vocal style and the aura she put into the track. The cajons were great, they're nice and punchy, but they had nice dynamic range there as well. The percussion was good, and the shakers shimmered around with a bit of ornamentation there that I think just simply came from things being like XY mic'd or something like that, so that was great. And then we had the clarity of those natural harmonics there. It was pristine, peaceful, had that analog kind of warmth and that tone there. I liked the way things were panned in the stereo field. I liked that there were no weird resonances in the frequency spectrum. Honestly, I think this is one of the best songs I've heard in quite a while. I think it's a very unique piece, and while I say that with the ignorance of not knowing whether or not there's a lot of other songs like this out there, I would like to hear more of this. But this is effectively my SP Patrons video of this track by DaiQing Tana and HAYA Band, titled Silent Sky. It just sounded like a professional recording. And, I usually say it's nice and loud without pumping. Dude, there was phenomenal dynamic range to this. I don't know how they could have improved it. It's basically a 10. I would call this a 10. I think this is officially my first 10. This is my first 10 on the channel. This one's a 10. So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Hopefully enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show DaiQing Tana and HAYA Band some love via their various social medias. It might be on YouTube, I'm not sure, but it's okay. Either way, stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as any of the help they can get at this point in time with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.